Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're listening to the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any selection using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Prominent authors and thinkers of ecocriticism in discourse analysis. The field of ecocriticism in discourse analysis has been significantly shaped by the contributions of various scholars who explore the intersections of language, literature, and the environment. These prominent authors and thinkers have provided foundational frameworks and insights into how environmental narratives shape and reflect cultural attitudes. By understanding their work, we gain deeper insights into the ways language and discourse influence our perceptions of nature and environmental issues. 1. Greg Garrard. Greg Garrard is a prominent scholar in the field of ecocriticism, well known for his significant contributions to understanding environmental narratives through discourse analysis. His works provide insights into how literature and discourse shape societal perceptions of nature and environmental issues. Here are some key aspects of Garrard's contributions. 1. Key contributions. Foundational work. Garrard's book, Ecocriticism, is considered a foundational text that offers a comprehensive overview of the field, highlighting major themes like pastoralism, wilderness, and the apocalypse in literature and environmental discourse. Analyzing environmental narratives. He focuses on how environmental narratives, through various genres and literary traditions, shape our understanding of nature. His analysis includes exploring how themes like pollution and climate change are constructed in literature and media. Cultural and literary perspectives. Garrard examines how cultural attitudes and historical contexts influence environmental literature and discourse, offering insights into how narratives about nature reflect broader societal values. Critical approaches. His work encourages critical approaches to ecocriticism, emphasizing the need to understand environmental narratives in their complexity. He advocates for analysis that considers the interplay between literature, culture, and ecology. Interdisciplinary insights. By blending insights from literary studies, cultural theory, and environmental science, Garrard provides an interdisciplinary perspective that enhances the understanding of how discourse shapes environmental thought. 2. Importance in discourse analysis. Broadening ecocriticism. Garrard's work broadens the scope of ecocriticism by incorporating discourse analysis techniques, helping to uncover the underlying narratives that shape environmental attitudes. Highlighting narrative power. He emphasizes the power of narratives in shaping public perception and policy regarding environmental issues, underlining the importance of critically engaging with these narratives. Connecting theory and practice. Garrard connects theoretical insights to practical environmental challenges, showing how the narratives and discourses surrounding these challenges impact real-world decisions and actions. In summary, Greg Garrard is a key figure in ecocriticism, with his analysis of environmental narratives offering valuable insights into how language and literature shape our understanding of the environment and influence attitudes and actions towards ecological issues. 2. Cheryll Glotfelty. Cheryll Glotfelty is another pivotal figure in the field of ecocriticism, widely recognized as one of its pioneers. Her work has been instrumental in establishing ecocriticism as a legitimate and crucial area of academic inquiry. Glotfelty's efforts have focused on examining the deep interconnections between literature and the environment, paving the way for subsequent scholars to explore these complex relationships. 1. Key contributions. Defining ecocriticism. Glotfelty is one of the foremost scholars to define and promote ecocriticism. In her introduction to the Ecocriticism Reader, Landmarks in Literary Ecology, which she co-edited with Harold Frum, she offers one of the earliest and most cited definitions of ecocriticism. She describes it as the study of the relationship between literature and the physical environment, emphasizing its interdisciplinary nature. Advocacy for environmental awareness. Her work consistently advocates for greater environmental awareness and sensitivity, arguing that literary studies should not overlook environmental concerns. By integrating ecological insights with literary analysis, her work encourages a more holistic approach to interpreting texts. Educational impact. As a professor, Glotfelty has influenced many students and scholars through her teachings and writings, spreading eco-critical thinking across academic disciplines. Her efforts have helped to institutionalize eco-criticism within academia, particularly in American literature studies. Interdisciplinary approach. Glotfelty's approach is notably interdisciplinary, drawing from fields such as history, philosophy, and environmental sciences to enrich literary analyses. This has helped broaden the scope of literary studies to include ecological and environmental perspectives. 2. Importance in discourse analysis. Literature as environmental discourse. Glotfelty's work illuminates how literature functions as a form of environmental discourse that reflects and shapes societal attitudes toward nature. This has opened up new pathways for discourse analysis in environmental studies. Highlighting environmental narratives. She has emphasized the importance of recognizing and critiquing the environmental narratives that literature propagates, which can influence public perceptions and policy decisions regarding the environment. Encouraging ecological literacy. By integrating ecological concepts into literary analysis, Glotfelty's work promotes ecological literacy, encouraging readers and scholars to think critically about the environmental implications of the texts they study. In summary, Cheryll Glotfelty's pioneering work in eco-criticism has had a profound impact on how literature is studied in relation to the environment. Her contributions have fostered a deeper understanding of the ecological dimensions of literature, making her a central figure in the integration of environmental concerns into literary and discourse analysis. 3. Ursula Heise. Ursula Heise is a leading scholar in eco-criticism, known for her focus on the global dimensions of environmental issues and the role of cultural narratives in shaping our understanding of sustainability. Her work bridges literary analysis, environmental studies, and global studies, offering insights into how different cultures perceive and narrate environmental challenges. 1. Key contributions. Global environmental narratives. Heise's work emphasizes the importance of global perspectives in environmental discourse. Her book Sense of Place and Sense of Planet, The Environmental Imagination of the Global explores how literature and media reflect and influence global awareness of environmental issues. Eco-criticism and globalization. She examines the intersection between eco-criticism and globalization, arguing that environmental discourse must consider the interconnectedness of ecosystems and cultures on a global scale. This has highlighted the importance of transcending national and regional boundaries in addressing environmental challenges. Science fiction and the environment. Heise analyzes science fiction as a genre that offers speculative narratives about the environment, exploring how it imagines future ecological scenarios and the impact of technological advances on nature. Biodiversity and extinction. In her book Imagining Extinction, The Cultural Meanings of Endangered Species, Heise delves into how biodiversity and extinction are represented in cultural narratives. She examines the stories and symbols surrounding endangered species and how they shape public perception and policy. 2. Importance in discourse analysis. Cultural narratives and sustainability. Heise's work shows how cultural narratives shape our understanding of sustainability, influencing how societies perceive and prioritize environmental issues. This emphasis on narrative helps reveal the power of storytelling in framing environmental discourse. Analyzing global perspectives. Her focus on the global dimensions of environmental issues broadens the scope of discourse analysis in eco-criticism. She highlights the importance of understanding diverse cultural perspectives in addressing environmental challenges. Bridging science and literature. By examining the intersection of science fiction, biodiversity, and environmental narratives, Heise's work underscores the value of interdisciplinary approaches in discourse analysis. This helps unravel the complexities of how science and culture interact in shaping environmental discourse. In summary, Ursula Heiss's contributions to ecocriticism and discourse analysis lie in her ability to highlight the global dimensions of environmental challenges and the cultural narratives that influence our understanding of sustainability. Her interdisciplinary approach deepens the analysis of how literature and media shape and reflect ecological concerns. 4. Paul Chilton. Paul Chilton was a prominent linguist known for applying discourse analysis to a variety of social issues, including environmental concerns. His work on political and media discourse highlighted how language shapes and is shaped by societal attitudes, including those related to the environment. 1. Key contributions. Discourse and politics. Chilton's work often examined the interplay between language and politics, especially how political discourse influences public perception. In his book Analyzing Political Discourse, he explores how language in politics functions to shape ideologies, which can be extended to environmental discourse. Critical Discourse Analysis, CDA. He contributed to the field of CDA, a framework that critically examines how language reflects and enforces social power dynamics. Chilton's work often revealed how political language perpetuates specific ideologies, including those related to environmental issues. Media discourse and framing. He analyzed how media discourse frames environmental issues, affecting public perception and influencing policy. His work highlighted the media's role in shaping environmental narratives through specific framing and representation strategies. Cognitive linguistics and metaphor. Chilton's research also delved into cognitive linguistics, exploring how metaphors and framing in language influence our conceptualization of environmental issues. For instance, he examined how metaphors shape our understanding of complex topics like climate change. 2. Importance in discourse analysis. Analyzing political language. Chilton's analysis of political language revealed how rhetoric influences public attitudes and policies on environmental issues, highlighting the importance of discourse in shaping political agendas. Critical frameworks for media analysis. His work in CDA offers a framework for critically analyzing how media discourse constructs environmental narratives, revealing biases and highlighting the need for more nuanced representations. Metaphor and cognitive framing. Chilton's emphasis on metaphor and cognitive framing provided insights into how deeply ingrained linguistic structures can shape societal attitudes towards the environment. Understanding these structures is crucial for crafting effective environmental communication. Revealing ideological bias. His work in discourse analysis revealed the ideological biases present in political and media discourse, helping uncover how power structures influence environmental narratives. In summary, Paul Chilton's contributions to ecocriticism and discourse analysis emphasize the importance of critically examining political and media discourse to understand how language shapes environmental attitudes and policies. His work provides tools to analyze the framing, metaphors, and ideological underpinnings that influence how society perceives and addresses environmental challenges. 5. George Lakoff. George Lakoff is a prominent cognitive linguist known for his research on metaphors and framing, particularly how they shape thought and influence political discourse, including environmental understanding and policy. His work has significantly contributed to the fields of cognitive linguistics, political psychology, and discourse analysis. 1. Key contributions. Metaphors We Live By. Co-authored with Mark Johnson, this seminal work outlines the concept of conceptual metaphors, showing how they shape our understanding of the world. This framework helps explain how metaphors can deeply influence our perceptions of environmental issues. Framing and political language. Lakoff's work on framing shows how political discourse uses specific language to evoke certain frames that influence public perception and policy. His analysis of political language helps uncover how environmental policy debates are influenced by framing. Environmental metaphors. He emphasizes how metaphors used in environmental discourse shape the public's understanding of ecological issues. For example, terms like global warming versus climate crisis frame the issue differently and thus impact public perception and policy responses. The political mind. In this book, Lakoff delves into how political language and framing impact public opinion and policy, including environmental policies. He argues that progressive politics, including environmentalism, need to carefully frame their language to resonate with people's underlying cognitive structures. 2. Importance in discourse analysis, framing environmental policy. Lakoff's insights into framing provide a framework for understanding how language can shape environmental policies, highlighting the importance of carefully crafting language to align with desired policy outcomes. Cognitive linguistics and environmental discourse. By revealing how cognitive structures and metaphors influence our understanding of environmental issues, Lakoff's work informs strategies for effective environmental communication. Strategic communication. His research highlights the importance of strategic communication in environmental discourse, emphasizing the need for language that frames issues in ways that align with audiences' values and cognitive structures. Shaping public perception. Lakoff's analysis of metaphors and framing demonstrates how language deeply influences public perception, showing that how we talk about environmental issues can significantly affect how society responds to them. In summary, George Lakoff's contributions to ecocriticism and discourse analysis underscore the power of language in framing environmental understanding and policy. His research provides valuable insights into how metaphors and framing can influence public perception and political discourse on environmental issues, guiding more effective communication strategies for promoting environmental sustainability. Conclusion. The contributions of these prominent thinkers have been pivotal in shaping the field of ecocriticism in discourse analysis. From Greg Garrard's exploration of environmental narratives to George Lakoff's insights into metaphorical framing, each has enriched our understanding of how language and discourse shape environmental perceptions. Their work continues to inform and inspire critical approaches to analyzing the intricate relationship between language, culture, and the environment. Frequently asked questions. Who is Greg Garrard, and what are his contributions to ecocriticism? Greg Garrard is a prominent eco-critic known for his foundational work in analyzing environmental narratives. His book, Ecocriticism, provides a comprehensive overview of key themes and theories, making it an essential resource for understanding the relationship between literature and environmental discourse. What has Cheryll Glotfelty contributed to ecocriticism? Cheryll Glotfelty is a pioneer in ecocriticism who emphasized the interplay between literature and the environment. She co-edited The Ecocriticism Reader, which helped establish ecocriticism as a significant field of study by bringing together foundational essays that explore how literature reflects and influences our perception of the natural world. What is Ursula Heise known for in the field of ecocriticism? Ursula Heise is known for her focus on the global dimensions of environmental issues. Her work emphasizes cultural narratives in sustainability, particularly in her book, Sense of Place and Sense of Planet, which explores how globalization influences our perception of environmental issues and the narratives we create around sustainability. How did Paul Chilton apply discourse analysis to environmental issues? Paul Chilton applied discourse analysis to environmental issues by examining political and media discourse. He explored how language frames environmental debates, particularly how political rhetoric shapes public perception of environmental challenges. How does George Lakoff's work relate to environmental discourse analysis? George Lakoff explores how metaphors in language frame our understanding of environmental issues. His work highlights how metaphorical language in environmental discourse can influence policy and public perception, affecting how society approaches ecological challenges. What are the key themes Greg Garrard focuses on in his work? Greg Garrard focuses on themes like pastoralism, wilderness, and apocalyptic narratives. He analyzes how these themes manifest in literature and media to reveal how they shape environmental perceptions and attitudes. How did Cheryll Glotfelty contribute to the institutionalization of ecocriticism? Cheryll Glotfelty helped institutionalize ecocriticism by co-founding the Association for the Study of Literature and Environment, ASLE, and editing The Ecocriticism Reader. Her efforts established ecocriticism as a field of academic study, bridging literature and environmentalism. What distinguishes Ursula Heiss's approach to ecocriticism? Ursula Heiss's approach is distinguished by her emphasis on globalization and its impact on environmental narratives. She advocates for understanding environmental issues in a global context, emphasizing how cultural narratives intersect with global sustainability challenges. What insights has Paul Chilton provided on the political discourse surrounding environmental issues? Paul Chilton's insights focus on how political language constructs environmental issues, often revealing the influence of power dynamics in shaping public understanding. His work highlights how political framing can influence the perception and urgency of environmental policies. How does George Lakoff's concept of metaphors help understand environmental discourse? George Lakoff's concept of metaphors helps understand environmental discourse by revealing how metaphorical language frames environmental challenges. For example, framing climate change as a war or crisis can affect how society perceives and responds to the issue. What books by Greg Garrard are essential for understanding ecocriticism? Greg Garrard's Ecocriticism is a foundational text that introduces readers to the key themes and debates within ecocriticism, providing a comprehensive overview of the field. What other contributions has Cheryll Glotfelty made to the field? Besides co-founding ASLE and editing the Ecocriticism Reader, Cheryll Glotfelty has also contributed numerous essays and articles that explore the intersection of literature and environmental studies, furthering the understanding of how narratives shape our relationship with nature. What is the significance of Ursula Heiss's work for environmental discourse analysis? Ursula Heiss's work is significant for environmental discourse analysis because it brings a global perspective to understanding how environmental narratives shape and are shaped by cultural, economic, and social forces on a global scale. How has Paul Chilton's work influenced the study of environmental rhetoric? Paul Chilton's work has influenced the study of environmental rhetoric by highlighting the importance of language in shaping public discourse. His analysis of political and media language provides insights into how rhetorical strategies influence environmental policy. How does George Lakoff's research influence environmental policy framing? George Lakoff's research influences environmental policy framing by showing how metaphors guide thinking and decision-making. Understanding how metaphors shape perception can help policymakers choose language that more effectively communicates environmental challenges and solutions.